stop driving like 2 miles an hour. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over an armored Ford Explorer ST, and this is basically like a police cruiser sort of build on it. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Armor Max for giving me some time with this Ford Explorer ST. Check out their website in the description below. Let's get straight into the video. Being an Explorer ST, you still have the same engine setup. I just wanted to show you guys some of the wiring that goes into here under the hood. Now this particular one doesn't have the radiator protection, but it is something that you can get done through Armor Max, which I think is pretty neat. But you do have protection here on the front end, and then also on the sides, like all the panels and everything, those are all armored. But yeah, kind of crazy what's happening there under the hood. Like I said, the whole vehicle is pretty much armored, so like you've got all the armoring on the side, the windows, the doors, all that, and we'll kind of go over that in just a little bit. The cool thing is usually when you armor a vehicle, the rear hatch is completely inoperable. However, they have done their magic over here at Armor Max, and the rear hatch still works. If you guys are wondering how this system is actually working, you've got the factory struts, and then you have extra struts that are also kind of added after the fact. You guys can see the two units next to each other, so it's got enough support to be able to lift up the extra weight of the hatch with the armoring. But yeah, I just think that's pretty neat that they've been able to add that. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like, thick stuff back here. So I just want to quickly go over the back to show you guys that you've got all the armoring back here. Now these windows here in the rear are not operable. The front windows are, however, but I know this is kind of hard to show on camera, but the door definitely with the armoring is heavier. But I mean, it's really not hard to open and close the door whatsoever. So like, if you go up to the door and you're not used to it, like it's heavier than a normal car door, but it's not like bad. You guys can see that I'm able to easily do it with just one hand. Same thing here with the front, so you've got the same armoring here on the door here in the front, but like I said, these windows are operable, so all we have to do is just kind of pop in, close the door, turn on the Explorer ST, and then you guys can see the window goes down at like the same rate pretty much any other window does. Notice it doesn't go all the way down, but I mean, I feel like this is more than enough. And then if we raise it back up, again, I feel like it's at a pretty good rate, and then also the passenger window does the same exact thing. But yeah, it's just, the only things can feel a little bit different is just when you roll the window back up, it does take a little bit longer. And by the way, don't hold the switch down all the time because the motor will keep going even though the window is all the way up. Just a pro tip right there. Now this is my favorite part. I wish that I had one of these in my truck because you guys know what this is. This obviously allows you to talk on the outside. So you can hear me talking right there. And I would totally use this to yell at people when they're being a bad driver. Like, I'd be like, hey, stop driving like 2 miles an hour in the slow lane. And, well, I mean, I'd used language that was a lot more colorful than that, but I think it's pretty cool that this has one of those. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering what these switches are for. This is for an outside listening device. So how it works is it's actually here on the outside, basically on the mirror. So then it allows you to talk to someone, like they can talk into the listening device, but you don't have to roll down the window for your safety. And so yeah, that's another nice little thing. Now the other two switches are actually attached to Sirens. Now I normally would turn them on for the review. However, you guys probably don't know, we're sitting right here and the police station is just right over there. So we're not going to randomly turn on police sirens right next to a police station, but those two buttons are for the different sirens. Before we take this out to drive it, if you guys are wondering in terms of the level of protection this provides, this is certified against handguns, which is pretty normal for a police car. So again, this is kind of like your undercover police type car, which is, I don't know, I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, let's take it out and see how it drives. Now we're setting off in this Explorer ST, obviously with the full armoring package, and we're on our hardcore off-roading course. But in all seriousness, I really like this build. It's kind of, again, it's that cool, kind of like police-like stealth build, which I think is pretty interesting. Obviously, you don't want to use the sirens in most situations unless you're doing that for fun at like a car meet or something like that. we have a thing in the description that says for off-road use only, right? But yeah, I still think it's a really neat build that this has, and from a driving perspective, it actually doesn't drive too different from a regular Explorer ST. It still handles great. You do kind of, again, when you're getting in and out of the car, you feel the weight with the doors, but when you're actually driving it around, you don't really feel the extra weight of the package. And that's the thing that's great about modern armoring, is you don't really have to give up anything by armoring a vehicle. And I'll get back to you guys in a second when we get on the road here. Now, as with all of our tests on armored vehicles, we have to get our fun little acceleration to see if it still goes. I think that's more than enough. Like, it doesn't feel any slower compared to a stock Explorer ST. It feels pretty much the same from an acceleration standpoint, which, I mean, again, that's exactly what you want when you armor a vehicle. The one thing that I will mention is this still has that really good steering feel you get with the Explorer ST, where the steering does feel a little bit on the heavier side, which makes this have like more of like a sporty, fun feel to it from a driving perspective. You guys can see the handling around that roundabout is perfectly fine. Like, none of that's difficult. Now, the one thing I will mention again with the PA, it's super easy to use. Like, you literally just have to take it out and then you can use it. And then when you're done with it, all you have to do is just put it back in the little thing right there, which we're gonna test. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm driving. I only have to take one hand off the steering wheel and you can get it in and out really easy. And then the switches are right there for you to be able to press. And so everything from an accessibility standpoint is just perfect, really easy to access. And then once we get up here, I do want to show you guys kind of again with the windows what you can expect. That we did show it a little bit earlier in the video, but so you guys can kind of see from like a driving perspective, just as an example. It's perfect that this is a red light, so then I can show you guys at the light. Like, let's say that for some reason you wanted to say you stopped at a light and your best buddy's sitting next to you at the light and you wanted to talk to him. Literally, you just press, it rolls down, and then when you're done, again, it rolls up a little bit slower, but I mean, it's not like it's crazy slow or anything like that from that perspective. Now we are going to pop it over into the hopefully over into the sport mode. There we go, we're in the sport mode now. Yeah, it still feels just as quick as any other Explorer ST. I really don't feel like you give up anything by armoring this. It drives just as nice. And I think the cool thing about this that I really like about this particular vehicle is the fact that the owner picked this out in black, because it really does have that like stealth police cruiser look. And all you would need to add at this point is just some strobe lights, and then you're right in business at that point. And the suspension doesn't feel weird either. And I guess we have a bunch of cowboys over here because we got a rodeo going on, and I probably shouldn't have gone through here. I mean, you guys can enjoy the people riding on the horses and everything, but yeah, I mean, it really does drive just like a regular Explorer. And the like fact that this has that added safety factor of like, you know, that if someone came up and did some crazy stuff and they're like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening nowadays, like, you've got the protection, you've got the bulletproof glass, you've got all the armoring on the doors and everything. It's got tons of protection. But let's get into summing things up with this Explorer, and I guess kind of what my final thoughts are with this particular build and all that. So first off, on the exterior, it looks just like any other Explorer ST. Again, it's got that black stealth look. What would be funny is if the owner like painted some like white stripes on it or something, then it would kind of give it more of a police car look to it. But yeah, again, nothing on the outside has been changed. And then from the interior perspective, everything is all the same. You've got the little stuff right here by your knee with the PA and all that. But other than that, if someone got in your car, they really wouldn't know that this is armored, other than the fact that the door feels a little bit heavier. And again, they might notice the PA and all that. But other than that, you pop in and you feel like you're getting in a regular Explorer. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking into armoring a vehicle, I think the more I get into these armored vehicles, the more I kind of think that it's something that would definitely be worth it and something that would be cool to do, because again, you get that protection, and you don't really give up anything by doing the armoring. And I guess I will leave you guys with one last acceleration. no complaints there. It's perfectly fine from an acceleration standpoint. But yeah, that's gonna sum things up on this Armored Explorer ST. Now, that is gonna sum things up for our video on this Armored Ford Explorer ST. Really excited that I was able to do a video on this today. But again, a huge shout out and thank you to Armor Max for giving me some time with the Explorer ST. Check out their website in the description below. I'll see all of you in the next video.